Normally, I schedule these things at least a few minutes in advance, but screw it, we're just gonna run right into it. Time for the normal Sunday look at whatever the hell Hovind decided to put out there. Currently, he's been on a bit of a roll of weird things now that I'm paying a bit more attention to what he's been doing again. So let's just see where things go now. In this case, Ecclesiastes 3, a time for everything. I just I'm as excited as you are to see where the hell this goes. Let's do it.
I think we're finally going to get some rain today.
And yes, it just starts like that. It seems like YouTube and all the like, because as I have to stress regularly, this is on YouTube from a first-party channel. Seems to have picked up the broadcast slightly late, or either Kent started before they were ready. Whatever.
It's been about 4.5 years since we had any. The lake is down 3 feet. Anyway, it is October the 26th, 2025. This morning will be in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, a time for everything. Amazing chapter. Brother, the more I read the Bible, Brother Meister, you've been reading it for what, 65 years now? You never run out. There's stuff there. You didn't see it last time. It's awesome. Anyway, time. What is time? Okay. First thing we do when you get to heaven, take your watch off, fling it over the side. There should be time no longer.
Why would you have a watch? Why would you have anything? Does the concept of a body and an appearance like you currently have even exist? Because the book doesn't seem to get into too much detail on that.
I can't keep up, brother. Every day I got more to do in my almost panic mode every day. I love it. Okay. Anyway, we'll be in Ecclesiastes, right dead center in your Bibles, the book of Psalms. You got Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, right after that. Okay. Proverbs chapter 3. Okay. We're in a bunch of different things, TikTok, Rumble, all that kind of stuff. Get there. Joseph sent me this morning. You folks at DAL might be interested in this. I want to thank all you atheists who worked so hard to get our YouTube channel shut down. You spread us out to many other channels and made the message of creation and salvation reach even more people. Thank you. You have 190,000 now just on Facebook and 7 million views in the last 28 days. So I know you guys worked so hard to get the channel down. Thank you. We appreciate it. Okay, thank you. Here's our Noah's Ark going.
You're not winning like you think you are, Kent.
Up together. You guys are doing a great job on that. Keep it going. Got some cool plans for that. Come down and see our 1/3 scale model, Noah's Ark. Here we are, Ecclesiastes 3. This Friday, Harvest Festival. We got all kinds of activities coming up for all the people that come. Come on, we'll be your family. You don't want to go, got nobody to go to. Come on down and see us. Veterans Day next on the 11th of next month, and then Thanksgiving. Come join us for Thanksgiving. A couple of years ago, we had 4 emus donated to us, and one was not very friendly. He ended up on the Thanksgiving dinner table. Was that 3 years ago? And yeah, what did it taste like?
Oh yes, we're just going to massacre and consume this animal that was given to us. It didn't meet our criteria of being worthy of living, so we slaughtered it and consumed it. Now, I know that sounds like some kind of vegan rant, and I'm certainly not of that ilk. Literally, as he was making that statement, I was consuming meat, cheese, etc. in the form of a crappy leftover burger. But actually, it tastes pretty good. McDonald's down the street actually cooks food the right way. It's kind of awesome. But what was I getting at? All right, just the avant-garde way, not even avant-garde, just the blasé way he says that, and just thinks it's cute, and it's like, dude, what the fuck, man? Also, I don't even know necessarily the legality of the consumption of emu, the processing of it in such a way, and that seems pretty insane in the grand scheme, but again, what do I actually know with this regard? This is backwoods Alabama, where last I checked, marrying your cousin was not just legal, but recommended.
Emu. Anyway, the other 3 are friendly now, so come on down, join us here. And you come join us for Christmas. Come be a part of your family. Luke called me early this morning, and we had a long talk. He's got 6 kids, got all the skills that we need. I'll tell you more about that later. But Luke, this is for you, okay? This is my view. If I step out of my back porch, that's what I see. There's the church right across the parking lot. It's a long walk, about 70.
And Kent probably has somebody come over to his place with an umbrella to hold it over him while he walks to the church. Because Hovind can't hold an umbrella himself, and he certainly can't get wet.
5 feet, but I can make it. And we'll put you and your family over here, probably cabin 6 right over there. And then you turn the other way, you can see our science center down there. And there's the shop where
He'll say Halloween. He just, pushes it aside because it's the evil holiday.
you'll be helping us get some mechanic stuff done. There's playground for the kids. Who's that on the swing there? Look at that face.
Good point. Gotta give burnt offering because you know they're gonna overcook it. And oh man, there's our thumbnail. Demented Hovind. Oh, that one's going in the Discord.
Hey, did you like that swing? Hey, Don, did you wax the pole yet? Man, it worked good this morning. Spin around. I put the
Whoa, Kent, what are you talking about?
seatbelt on, and he wouldn't fly off, though. So it takes away some of the fun, but okay. There's me, 72, going off
Takes away some of the fun.
the giant swing. We got to come on down, try our leap of faith. We got all kinds of zip lines, things like that for the kids. We have a zip line goes all the way into Noah's Ark. Go leave right there and end up. I got to measure that distance. Titus, if you think of it, measure that. How far is it from to Noah's Ark? Is that 250 foot or somewhere around there? Okay. Zip right in. We got 17 lakes you can swim in. If anybody's coming from north,
I just gotta point out, we all see it and we're all desensitized to it, but he does this for every single video, goes through an entire, advertisement for this place. You don't need it at the beginning of every single video, Kent. You really don't. Just get to the fucking Bible. That's supposed to be what you care so much about, but no. Your little shitty theme park and the daily minutes of whatever's going on down at Dinosaur Slave Land are more important than the Bible on a Sunday fucking morning. That's me saying that, calling you out on that. That should tell you and your idiot followers a fuck ton about where you actually come from in all this. And, that's another thing I should bring up. I've been getting a lot of Hovendite comments again, which means my content's, getting pushed out to them. Woohoo. But, it's just funny seeing this string of occasional dislikes that normally don't happen in videos, and again, don't truly matter. They count as interactions. So, once again, I have to stress, if you're an idiot who thinks disliking a video harms it in any way, you don't understand anything about YouTube. But also popping in occasional comments here or there that, remember, feel free if you see it to respond however you wish. I'm not going to get mad at you. Say whatever you want. That's you and that person interacting. It just happens to be in the comments of my video. So if you call them, whatever the hell you think, call out their idiocy. I don't care. Go for it. Point is, it's just funny when you attract that attention, and they just still want to go on and defend Kent, and it's like, really? You seem to be partly watching the video. You actually seem to be paying attention because you address stuff down the line that I say, but you're not actually catching what I'm saying. It's like you hear the words and you know on the surface what is being stated, but you're not reading the bigger picture. I don't know. Not my problem, but it's just something you notice. Not deep thinkers among the Hovendites. That and or the dislikes are from other petty individuals who seriously should know what I stated previously, that they don't affect the video and they're not actually doing anything valid, because it seems weird that it happened right after the beginning of the month. But that's just me noticing a pattern here. Let's continue.
Alabama, down this way to Lenox. This guy has a replica of a dinosaur skull. It's a two-dimensional replica. We want to put in the fossil dig pit, cover it with sand, let the kids carefully, excavate.
Hey, Kent, look at those teeth. What do you think those teeth are for?
The fossil is for something to do. Another guy in Maple Park, Illinois, near Chicago, has this tortoise he wants to get down here. Anybody coming from Maple Park, come on down. And if you're coming this way from Dallas, This guy got a whole bunch of fossil ammonites he wants to donate to us and other stuff to donate to our museum. Shop vacs and all.
Thank you, Otaku. Couldn't have said it better myself. Did you wax the pole yet? I am uncomfortable and need a competent adult. Is it playground? An MTG deck? Because it's filled with slivers. Fuck. Oh.
Kinds of stuff for the playground. Please let me know. Call 855 Big Dino extension 3. I'll hook it all up for you. There we go. Help us to open for free. Genesis Baptist Church. Open for free. There we go. Okay. I'll go 855 Big.
What the hell was that? It just squeaked.
Open for free. There we go. Okay. I'll go 855 Big Dino.
Oh, man. That was just funny. And then the whole thing just kind of goes to crap. What, did a rat bite through the cable and that was it squeaking in terror as I got hit by, fucking like 100 volts DC or whatever from I don't know what. What the hell would run at 100 volts DC? That'd be fucking weird, man. Okay, so I'm going to go grab something to drink real quick. I'm going to press play on Hovind and run fast as hell to the kitchen and back. Shouldn't be 30 seconds max. Let me know if he says anything stupid in between me pressing play, say, after this, and then coming back. All right.
I know extension 1. Bobby or Joy. Joy, you're extension 1 now, right? Okay. Bobby or Joy will answer, tell you what to do to help us stay open for free. We ask folks, if you can, give $1 a day. We'll be your missionary to the blind and the dumb. How many were here in the last, how many kids came and people came and visited the last 2 days here, Titus? Got one group of 50 or 60.
All right, I'm back. Did he say anything absolutely stupid, or was it just normal stupid? Because I feel like the point where he's talking about his little donate to me is the moment that I have a chance to escape.
60. Anyway, come on, it's fun down here. 9.5 years now for free. Okay, let's see. Oh, right there, slide 1, 40. There. In Norway, the Norwegians live up there.
God, can't. I'll break into accents and stuff sometimes and call things particular ways. And I know it can be cringy at times, but it's always cringe when you do it, dude. It's always cringe. Partly, I think you overdo it. Having, listened to people talk from those areas, you notice the accent isn't nearly as thick as people want to make it out to be.
Way up in northern Norway, there's an island called Samurai Island. Population 350.
Boy, I'd love to compare your pronunciation to what I think the pronunciation might be, but I can't see it because the font consists of each letter has 2.5 pixels. So it's all a bit of a blur.
Who cares? Well, on that island right there, Samurai Island, it's known as the Summer Island. It experiences 69 days of continuous sunlight. Sun never goes down. From May to July, during which the sun never sets, a traditional timekeeping impractical. So, come winter, it flips around and you get perpetual darkness, except for the northern lights up there. Okay, who cares? Well, what do people do up there in June?
Yes, Kent, we understand how areas above and below the Arctic and Antarctic circles, respectively, have altered situations of day and night cycles to a point where days progress over a 24-hour period and vice versa, nights will progress over 24 hours. It's well understood thanks to the axial tilt of the Earth. That was a key thing back in December for the quote-unquote final experiment with the whole flat Earth thing, which amazingly got Jeranism out of flat Earth. And I'm super happy the guy finally had evidence that convinced him and realized he was wrong. I wish more people were honest like that. I do think it's stupid that he thought for that long and that hard something as idiotic as the flat Earth, but at least he actually realized there's no bullshitting this one, as opposed to what everyone else is doing and continuing the grift.
In 2019, it made a symbolic gesture. Everybody smashed their watch and hung it on the bridge. We're going to live without time. Throw the clock away, throw the watch away. Just Do what you want to do. Get up when you want to get up, eat when you want to eat. Forget the clock. Can you imagine that? Pretty cool. Sounds tempting to try. Okay.
It's how Hovind lives. He eats and sleeps and does whatever the fuck he wants whenever he wants. It's just he happens to want to adhere to a basic schedule.
Okay. In the Revelation chapter 10, John said, I saw the angel I saw stand on the sea, and he lifted up his hand to heaven. And he said,
Hey, Kent, this is supposed to be Ecclesiastes, not Revelation. I know you're getting into your whole time motif, even though you've been bringing up that stupid island and the watch thing for a while now, probably because you saw it doom scrolling through Facebook or whatever, and saw some fucking meme about it and thought, Norway? Well, that's where my Aryan heritage is from. I tell you what, let me just look into this there thing. Oh, wait, I shouldn't have said that out loud. Everyone in the congregation just ignore that? I don't know. Made Hovind sound more like fucking Pastor, a redneck Pastor Meister there. You get it. Anyway. Stupid ass voices I do. Point is, you seem to have been obsessed on that, and now you managed to work it all in. Whoopity-doo, but god damn it, shouldn't you start with the book that actually is what your subject is, and then branch off into other stuff if you're going to, which you honestly probably shouldn't branch off that much. I'm no expert on these things, and I know, preachers will tell tangential stories, but you seem to spend more time focused on the tangent than you do the actual core subject, and still don't get anything across to me other than, wow, this dumb book says a lot of stupid shit.
there shall be time no longer. Can you imagine living without time? I've been stuck in it all my.
Well, it's kind of an illusionary thing. It's an abstract measurement of noticeable properties of entropy in the actual reality we exist in, which is the time-space continuum. So by definition, it's a fundamental aspect of reality. But at the same rate, the comprehension of time is not a requirement. For example, cats don't have they don't have episodic memory, or the way they think of things is that they know events happened, but they don't place them in an actual time frame. They cannot think of X event happened before Y event. And when you understand things like that, and that's common with a lot of animals, um, they don't have that concept of time. They simply have memories and build things based on that. You can actually better connect with said animal, said pet. So if you understand, like with cats, for example, that they don't think in the same way we do, that they know, hey, sometimes person feeds or sometimes they yell, but they don't realize when it is or what it is, you can understand them better. Sorry, explain that kind of crappily. Go figure, still better than Hovind would. But time existing and it being a perceptible thing to us are two very different things.
Life. How many of you have ever wished you could go back just 5 seconds to undo the dumb thing you just did? How many have some scars because you could not go back those 5 seconds and undo the dumb thing? Okay. In Luke
I wish I could have never learned that you exist.
21, Bible talks about Jerusalem's going to be compassed about. This is called the times of the Gentiles. On my chart behind me, this big chart you can get for, I don't know what the cost of the big one is, but the little one's $10.
There we go. Had to make sure to be able to bring up a stupid chart and where you can buy it. Amazing. Joseph isn't on the ball today. He doesn't have the buy the longevity chart thing. He's going to get pistol whipped tonight for that one.
There's the creation was back here.
There it is.
There's about a 2,000 year.
You can pay $5 for a fucking download of it.
Period from the time the Jews rejected Messiah and crucified him until today, called the time of the Gentiles. Okay, on the chart there. For Ecclesiastes 3, to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which was planted. Back when I was a kid, there was a singing group with mop heads. Let's see. That was the style back then.
Funny, you're complaining about them during the relatively preppy days of the Beatles, where they wore relatively conforming outfits. Just happened to have the long hair thing going on because it was, the early fucking 60s.
they sang a song on this. I made up a song. I'm just going to play a few seconds of it on this chapter.
Actually, wait, which group was that now that I think about it? The Birds. There we go. There we go. Sorry, my brain immediately thought Beatles at first because, I'm half awake. Bro, both fucking Friday night to Saturday and Saturday to Sunday, I slept like 12 solid hours. Just crashed completely. I have been fucking exhausted from work. So forgive me for not immediately recognizing things. A lot of these bands in black and white, especially with my crappy vision, look the same. I knew something didn't add up, though, with the positioning of all the guitars. Also, I just realized I'm going to get a fucking copyright hit for that one, so, Jump ahead. Jump ahead. Yeah, we know the song, Kent.
Oh, I can handle that kind of music, but they did. Okay.
Oh, don't worry. I can't handle it too well either. Way too happy for me. You could have done something better and gone with a little band called Blue Oyster Cult and their probably most famous song. I'm sorry. I just had a moment. Don't fear the Reaper. I just completely forgot. Today is not my day to remember stuff in music history. I swear, it's like every day, some part of my brain is like, okay, you're going to be running at 150%, but this section has to just be shut down for the next, 3 days. And apparently my music history and recognition sections are just gone. So I still remember who Roy Gallagher was. So we've got that going on.
So cool. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, a time for everything. Okay. Let's see. A time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, a time to build up, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, a time.
Now all I want to do is hear Slipknot produce a song using these exact passages and just go at it. That's all I can think of is them running that, and then eventually going into something about rotting flesh and what have you. I don't know.
Time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing, like, before you're married. Okay. A time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep, a time to cast away. The author here, Solomon, uses a series of contrasting pairs: a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to build, a time to tear down, a time to love, a time to hate, to demonstrate that even opposing actions and emotions have their proper place within God's overarching plan. Sometimes it's time to, when somebody does something wrong to you, sometimes it's time to turn the other cheek. Sometimes it's time to, turn their other cheek. Okay?
Thanks for justifying that, Hovind, because apparently, in my particular case, finally no longer tolerating bullshit from somebody and expressing the persistent frustrations at their attitudes to try to control one's life when they have no control over their own, apparently that's a problem to some people. But, people who don't take accountability for anything in their own lives are going to put it on somebody else in all cases. Unrelated to that, and bringing up BOC, it reminds me that I have had for many years, in all the random ideas I come up with, my own deep analysis of the Rolling Stones song Paint It Black, and need to get that articulated at some point along with the 500 other things I want to do. Because I haven't quite found anyone who interprets Paint It Black quite the same way I do. And I think it would be a benefit to the greater consciousness of music and, people's interpretations of art and all that jazz, whatever you call that aspect of humanity, to share that with everybody. Long story short, dude's girlfriend's in a car crash and is fucking dead. And he's there on the scene, is the summary of it. And if you interpret the lyrics, you look at them, it's like, okay, I can explain this part, that part, etc. I'll do that sometime. Sorry, my ADD is all over the place. How you doing? Good to see you. Let's continue.
These changes are not random, but are determined by a supreme power. This is from Enduring Word Commentary. By the way, if you're new at reading your Bible, like Luke, we talked this morning, get a good commentary. Matthew Henry.
Funny, these random people who happen to agree with the book can provide good commentary, but commentary from me or Matt Dillahunty or Aaron Ra or Durante Lamar or anyone of the sort, those are not good commentaries for arbitrary ass reasons.
Henry commentary is very reliable from the late 1600s. Matthew Henry. Just, if you don't know what a verse means or a chapter means, look it up on Matthew Henry. He's probably pretty close to right. Okay. Individuals must accept them, these changes, as part of a larger, unalterable divine order. The text underscores that while human wisdom is limited, God's providence governs all things. And the wise response is to find contentment in the present moment. Just learn to be content. I guess this is a time to sleep. Oh, I guess it's time to wake up. Learn to just be content, okay?
Learn to be content. Meanwhile, also Hovland, we've got to finish Noah's Ark, and we got to build this zip line, and we need old fire equipment for blasting kids' skin off as they run down the zip lines, and we need somebody to donate all this shit so we can build giant dinosaurs. And Krabby, yeah, we needed somebody to help with Krabby. And oh, by the way, bring the turtle over here. We're not being content at all with anything at Dinosaur Adventureland. We need everyone to do all this stuff for us, and because I ain't gonna pay for it, but and also give us money. But you need to be content with stuff in life.
And make the most of the opportunities that are given. A time to rend, that means to rip, Old English, and a time to sew it back together. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. I know some people need to learn the time to keep silence, brother.
Yeah, you. How about you just shut up for a couple of years? Maybe if the justice system actually had any teeth to it where it needs to have them, you would still have been shut up. Oh wait, that feeds into your conspiracy that people are targeting Hovind because he says reality. He's exposing the truth. He ain't exposing shit except how much of an idiot he is. He fucked around, found out, and sadly, our justice system treats having a dime bag far worse than it does ripping off the goddamn government for hundreds of thousands. I don't get it, but a thing about say hello to another side rant. The stream is never going to get done. You want to know what the most successful socialist nation on earth is? Got a little video clip of a guy talking about this last night as I was going to sleep, and it struck well. Is actually the United States, because the wealthy, the big corporations and stuff, they get socialism all the time. They get bailouts, they get benefits, they can't fail. The auto companies going under, it's like they should have gone under. Why are we bailing them the fuck out? Let them die. That's capitalism for you. Oh, wait, it's only okay when the small business goes under. When the mega corporation's having problems, then you got to do stuff. Well, it destabilize. Let it destabilize. It'll fix itself back up by its bootstraps, won't it? Out billionaires, we bail out the elites all the fucking time because they're the ones who control everything. So of course they're going to help themselves, but the average person, fuck that shit. I haven't been to a doctor in fucking forever. That's okay. I'm just supposed to deal with it. with what money can. Just saying. It's kind of fucking ass backwards. And this idiot wants to act like, some people just need to be quiet. Some people just need to work harder. Some people, fuck you, Mr. Give Me Everything.
Okay. A time.
But, I don't know what I'm talking about, and Hoven's right, and he's the good guy, and I'm just, evil scum. The guy talking about, people all having health care, people being taken care of, people having a place to live, people having a job that fulfills their goal to be productive in life and isn't just a means to an end. The one who wants creatives to be able to create. The man who wants intellectuals to be able to research deeper. The man who wants people to live their lives the way they should be able to be happy, to be successful in what they specialize in. Oh, no. No, that's horrible. That's all wrong. But the guy telling you everyone's fucking evil and that you got to worship some zombie carpenter or else you're being punished for shit that happened before you ever existed. Oh, yeah, that's the good guy here. Man, fuck that shit. That's why I do this crap, because the absurdity of the very dichotomy that is created by the way these fucking idiots think, be it just religion in general, or let alone how tied in this kind of shit is with the way Western society works, the way America works. It's fucking bullshit. Love your neighbors yourself unless they're not like you. Oh, these people who live in this particular area, let's just get rid of them because these Jews who we don't like need to take over the area because that fulfills our Zionist prophecy. I get my dick hard every time I think about fucking Armageddon. Yeah. Just read Revelation and just jerk off all over it because that's all I fucking care about. Because I'm a white evangelical American. Shit's fucking insane. We live in a fucking clown world.
To love, a time to hate, a time of war, a time of peace. To everything there's a season, time for every purpose under heaven. The poetry of this list, describing the different seasons and facets of life, is beautiful. Yet it casts a dark shadow because it reminds us of the inevitability of trouble and evil. Things are going great today, may not be that way tomorrow. Or things are going bad today, may not be the way tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck kind of shit is it where we've got this fucking Cheeto Mussolini tearing down a third of the fucking White House, and people are defending that shit? The same ones who bitch if you burned a flag that you paid your own damn money for. It's okay for him to, during a government shutdown, tear down a third of the fucking White House. Something that has never happened before. Yet during around World War II era, everything was gutted and completely rebuilt on the inside, but they kept the external structure. They respected the fucking building, which is our property as a population, as citizens, as Americans. In the case of anyone out there who's American, I know I got a few international audience members. But y'all generally have similar stuff in your countries because that tends to be how modern societies work at this stage. Thankfully, we've gotten to a point where the ownership of things in the nation of the peoples is relatively common in one element or another, but we can get into the details all the time. How much you own is something. You get my point, though. Sorry, I got off in the weeds for a second. You can spend money to do that shit, that atrocity, unto the very spirit of the nation. But, I mean, the nation's on life support any goddamn way, but still. But we can't fund benefits, quote unquote food stamps, SNAP, EBT programs, and the like. Various support programs that people need to survive. Not because they're lazy, not because they can't get jobs, but because the two jobs some people are working that are the best they could get given the state of the economy in general in some areas still don't pay enough because your rent, just having a place to live, pretty much takes up an entire average fucking paycheck with pennies left over in some cases. Not even for good places. It's fucking ridiculous to see that housing costs used to be maybe 20 or 30% of pay, to where all that other money was left over for luxury goods, for improving your lives, for buying the things that would become necessities, like the 50s era automobile boom. Wasn't quite a necessity until you moved into the suburbs. Then it really became a necessity. And now everything is built around the idea of having a reliable transit constantly. Now people can't afford to keep up their vehicles because they're too busy having to pay 90% plus of their paycheck just to be able to maintain housing, utility services, and some other basic ass necessities. It is in fucking sane. But hey, best country in the world, right? Fucking blow me.
And of the relentless monotony of life. His ceaseless
Escape me from the ceaseless monotony of Hovind. Oh, wait, I just use Hovind to make money. No, I provide incredible critiques and get a little coin on the side, some shekels here and there because that's how capitalism works. It's funny the people who follow Hovind and who want to comment on my crap or other people's crap and get pissy with us earning money by the fact of providing content people want to watch and thus YouTube ad revenue happening and us getting a share of those shekels, that they're the hardcore capitalists who get pissed at it, but it's okay for Kent to do the same in a different way with things like his Whack an Atheist. Beg for donations, and then, you know, none of it makes any sense. It's hypocrisy out the fucking wazoo. Whatever the hell a wazoo is. Last I checked, it was where male jelly was stored in decapodians like Zoidberg. But, yes, that was a Futurama reference. Here's Zoidberg! I should watch Futurama again. Sorry, I'm thinking of anything that'll make me feel a little better, because right now I'm obviously super pissed off. Yeah, fucking hypocrisy. What can I say?
Reiteration of the words a time, are intended to indicate his sense of the monotony of all things. This is King Solomon, smartest guy that ever lived, richest guy that ever lived, okay? Rather than of their variety. So he said a time, just in chapter 3, where we are, 30 times he uses that phrase, a time to do this, a time to do that. And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of all the children of the East Country and all the wisdom of Egypt. Smartest guy, okay? He spake 3,000 proverbs, and his songs were 1,005. He was a songwriter, a poet, a genius, giving out advice. He didn't follow his own advice late in life. He spoke of trees, from the cedar that's in Lebanon to the hyssop that springeth out of the wall. He spoke of beasts and of fowl and of creeping things and of fishes. He apparently wrote books or talked about amazing things God created. Taught about all biology, by the way.
You see it affecting our friends right here. This insane government shutdown because Republicans are petty ass little bitches is causing people to not have food, not have resources, not have things they need. How the fuck is it that a program intended to help women, infants, and children, WIC, will not cover formula that might be all a child is able to properly consume currently? Because we're all individuals. We all have our particular tolerances to things, and kid, newborns and babies and like they kind of can sometimes be very particular. But it's okay for, you know, it's okay for Kent and them to just get all this money given to them to build fucking death zip lines and shit. But taking an extra 10 cents out of tax money to be able to cover some additional stuff on a state level program wise is fucking insane. And you do the math on X amount of people in a given area over Y consumption. You see the actual amount that would need to be pulled from every taxpayer and look at it and realize it ain't that much, baby. Just, I could spend all fucking day on this shit. It'd be a rambling mess because my thoughts end up being scattered when it comes to economic and socio-political stuff. It's not as razor focused in my delivery as it is criticisms of theology of Hovind and the like. But just goddamn, it's so fucking stupid. It's like, how is it that this can be explained? And people are just like, nuh-uh. Just blows the fucking mind.
All gives glory to God, not evolution, okay?
Nothing at all. No one at all brought up fucking evolution, Kent. You just bring it up just to be fucking bringing it up. Your petty ass obsesses over it. It's ridiculous how much you are obsessed with evolution. More than people who actually do real fucking science on the subject. It's funny that you are so obsessed with something you hate. But people call people like me obsessed with you. I'm not fucking obsessed. It's just hilarious to constantly rip into your ass and entertain these people. And as I stress, yeah, make a few shekels on the side. So fucking what? I'm not causing any active harm to anybody. But you're hurting Hovind's reputation. No, he hurts his own reputation. But you're being mean to him. Have you heard this motherfucker talk? He lost all ability to deserve respect decades ago. We lost all rights to that kind of respect. So no, don't miss me with that shit.
And there came all people to hear the wisdom of Solomon from all kings of the earth, which had heard of his wisdom. Anyway, what profit hath he that worketh in that wherein he laboreth? Solomon says, what good is it to work hard? I've seen the travail which God hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. God gave travail to mankind. See, back when Adam and Eve sinned in the Garden of Eden, Genesis chapter 3, God said, because you listened to your wife, that's the Hovind translation, uh, the ground is cursed. Now you got to work for a living, son. The ground is cursed. Now watch this.
There is a Soviet era building built during Stalin's period in Moscow. I was watching a piece as I've been doing my research on the fall of the Soviet Union. It was talking about Gorbachev, and it showed some footage filmed from a small motorcade heading to the Kremlin, and it pointed up at this big ass building. Looked like almost some sort of like Soviet Goth cathedral, if you can imagine such. And it turns out it was one of the state security buildings, still in use today, still has the fucking hammer and sickle on it and the like. They didn't change any of that. And that's apparently common around, especially like Moscow and a few other areas where some of the Soviet symbology didn't get removed. And you look at that and think, damn, that thing was built during fucking Holodomor and the like. And it's like, fucking hell, this insane shit. And that's we're just seeing the same thing happen now, where the fascists just build monuments to themselves. Don't give a fuck what's happening to the people. And if the government is shut down, how is there even still an active presidency? You get little shit like that where it's just like, what does this actually mean? Also, the idea of a government shutdown is just complete bullshit, where it's just they're just like magically, well, it's October, so we just can't do anything. Like, why? Why? I'm fucking expected to go to work. What the fuck? How does that work? Must be nice. Just not have to do shit. Still come back to your fucking job. But hey, the 3 days that the government was shut down to help pass Obamacare. Oh, you mean the Affordable Care Act? Because another funny thing is that even decade later, a lot of Republicans still don't comprehend that the ACA and quote unquote Obamacare are the same fucking thing. Now, of course, when it comes to the ACA, I think it was mutated by Republicans to the point of being obviously a completely fucking insane abortion of what it actually was supposed to be. But what do you expect in this shithole of a country? But hey, at least in his last presidency, Donny Boy got rid of the mandatory insurance requirement, so that was a plus. And I'm not even being sarcastic with it. That was a little bit of an asshole thing, but again, that's, fucking Republican bullshit where it's like, how about we just find people who don't go on and get insurance? Oh, so you're forcing people to pay for this shit, even at reduced rates, rather than just addressing the problem of just making healthcare a thing. How about we outlaw the hospitals charging so goddamn much for medical care when shit that costs the equivalent of $50 and $100 max elsewhere cost 50, 100 times that here in the States? Get a fucking broken bone and it costs, fucking like 3 months rent versus some shit that should be like 50 or $100 in some countries. Like, what the fuck? But again, I'm the problem because I think people should have access to stuff that should be basic fucking human rights. Like fucking healthcare and housing and food. What the fuck?
For thy sake. Adam, I'm doing this for your good. You need to work for a living now, son. And by the way,
God was the first capitalist. There's another reason to hate him. By the way, did I mention I'm trying to start a political party and I'm not even fucking kidding? I'll give you more on that down the line, hopefully. Email me if you want details.
parents, if you let your kids get by without working, you're making a huge mistake. From the time they're little bitty, they should have some
But Hovind doesn't need to work for a living. Nope.
kind of chores they can do. If they're 2 years old, they can, pick up their toys, sweep the floor, do something. They should just be normal and natural.
Hey guys, I don't know how many of y'all are parents out there or have had younger siblings or the like, but can you think of a 2-year old that can actually sweep a floor? And by that I mean actually go through the process correctly. Yeah, they could operate a little whisk broom or possibly a small child-sized broom or something, but can they actually do they actually have the articulation to be able to sweep up stuff into a dustpan or into some kind of collection device and actually do things? Also, my opinion, vacuum cleaners all around. Dust and sweeping is just to get the crap out of the corners. But that's just me preferring to use conventional ass technology where possible. Yes, even on hard floors, you can make it work. But let kids be kids. They're not little slave labor modules that your wife just pops out of herself for you to just command to do whatever. Kids aren't slaves. And that mindset needs to be eradicated last year. I can't believe people are still going along that kind of routing and that kind of mental logic that kids are just supposed to be slaves to you. Yeah, you want to instill some basic values of a level of self reliance and understand that there's things they need to do as general upkeep, but you try to put it in a position of their own benefit to where they will understand why this is a value and not just make them do it for doing its sake. Also, I can't help but notice that the Simon Dam Pope thing has moved and Dino Lamp is further over. And I don't know if that's due to the camera angle constantly shifting because for some reason they take all their equipment down and up every single time they do videos, or if Kent was playing with it last time and it's just that sounded wrong. Whatever. We were doing it live. I was playing with the Simon Dam prop and we just didn't see it from Friday's video because we haven't covered that one yet, which I intend to later. Let's continue with this bullshit though.
In my house, my two older brothers and my younger sister and I, we always had chores to do around the house. We had a list. Here's your chores. Get this done before you go play. Kids need to learn to not to work all the time, but you got to work some. But parents today, they give the kid a phone or a tablet with games on it and go play, kid. I'm busy. You're making a huge mistake. Okay. God said, curse
I'm not going to take parenting advice from someone whose kids absolutely hate him. All right?
is the ground for your sake. It's good to learn to work. Okay. He said, in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return to the ground. For out of it wast thou taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. Okay. He hath made everything beautiful in his time.
Yes, yes, everyone is but dust, and but dust they will return.
He hath set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. There's a book I read that just one of the top, I'd say one of the top 5 or 10 books I've ever read in my life.
Fire, that's what I'm hoping as well. And in that time, a massive socialist movement can properly sweep the country. And I'm not saying we go full Russian Revolution, but things most definitely change in the way they need to where shit in what's supposed to be the best country on earth actually goes the way it should for this actually being a place people want to live.
Peace Child by Don Richardson. Then he later wrote Eternity in Their Hearts. In the story of Peace, how many have read Peace Child? Anybody read Peace Child? Life changing. It's in here someplace if you can find it. Don't take any books out of my library. Sit here and read it because I know what happens. I don't loan stuff out because Christians don't steal, but they do borrow and never return. Okay? Just leave it in here so I know where it is. There's a nice comfy chair back there. Turn the Bible.
Yes. Hovind didn't steal money from the government. He just didn't return his fair share.
Later on, somebody gave us or loaned to us. And read the book. Here's the story of Peace Child. This missionary, Don Richardson, went to the Sawi tribe in Africa, South America, New Guinea. Okay, I'm sorry, Western New Guinea. The Sawi were a remote tribe known for their violent customs, including headhunting, cannibalism, and the glorification of treachery.
Wow. Headhunting, cannibalism, glorification of treachery? You sure that ain't the Christian God?
Whoever in their tribe, whoever could be the most treacherous was the hero. So the missionary's there, and he's giving them, steel arrowheads and steel machetes, and they're used to using stone tools, and they thought this was great. He said, "But you got to come to my Bible study to get these tools." Okay, so they'd sit there and listen to his Bible study. He learned their language, And they're telling the story about Jesus. Oh, brother, okay, go ahead. Where's my machete? Till they got to the story of Judas. And they all started paying attention. Judas was with Jesus for years, and he betrayed him. Oh, and in their culture, the custom was when you're thinking hard to rub your finger on the side of your nose. They'd say, oh, they called him Tuan, which means white man. Tuan. Judas is the hero.
Hey. It's Iquitsuocha. White Devil. Huh? Obscure Ace Ventura 2 reference, anyone? Yeah, no? Am I like the only person on Earth who liked Ace Ventura 2? That was just me. The first one didn't quite hit with me when I was a kid, but the second one I was able to appreciate as a kid. I don't know.
Now we understand. He said, I've been here for years learning your stupid language, and you didn't get it. They get it. They got it all wrong. It's an amazing story. So they glorified.
Is it? Sounds like a stupid story to me. I don't give a fuck.
Treachery, where betrayal was considered a mark of honor. Richardson faced immense challenges in sharing the Christian gospel with these folks, with the Sawi culture. They revered Judas, the betrayer of Jesus, more than Jesus.
Maybe they were on to something, Kent. I don't know.
But a breakthrough came. One morning, he had talking to the people about the Bible one time, and they're not interested. He said, look, guys, I'm leaving. I'm going somewhere else. You guys aren't interested. They said, oh, no, white man, Tuan, we want you to stay. Please stay. He said, no, all you do, you fight with each other. He got two tribes to move together, and they all lived up in the tree houses because there's swamps and stuff like that and snakes. So they all built tree houses.
Frankie goes to Hollywood. Two tribes. Just saying.
He said, tomorrow we're going to make peace. He said, how are you guys going to make peace? You've been fighting you don't even know why you're fighting. You've been fighting for centuries. He said, no, tomorrow we'll make peace. You won't understand. You're just a white man. So next morning, it's real quiet in the village, which is unusual. Nobody running around. Pretty soon, he hears a lady screaming up in her hut, up on the tree. No, not my child, not my child. And this big, tall, lanky guy comes down the ladder, walking down the ladder to get to the ground, and he's carrying his baby, and he's crying. And everybody comes out of their huts, and they're standing in the opening. The white man, Richardson, says to his interpreter, helping him learn the culture. He said, what's going on? He said, you won't understand. They're going to make peace. He said, what is going on? He said, well, this guy coming down the ladder with the baby, he's going to give his baby to a member of the other tribe as a peace child.
Oh my God, I don't fucking care.
And somebody from the other tribe is going to give him one of their babies. They're going to swap kids. Yeah, aren't they just going to kill him and eat him? He said, oh, no. It's okay to kill somebody else's baby and eat him, but never kill a peace child. And the peace child is, he's as long as the peace child lives, we can't fight. And if somebody ever starts a fight, we say, we can't fight with you guys. We got a peace child. Okay.
So it's just some gentleman's agreement, and that's it. Funny, that's respected, but just base agreements in general aren't. If, that's at all how things actually go, which generally isn't. So, I smell massive loads of bullshit all around, but that's normal when you're anywhere near Lenox, Alabama, either in reality or digitally.
Okay. And they put it away. So betrayal was considered a mark. The breakthrough came when Don discovered a powerful cult.
Very good point. Ethnocentrism and white savior complex.
Cultural analogy within the Sawi tradition, the peace child. This practice involved one tribe giving a child to another tribe as a symbol of peace, ensuring a truce as long as the child lived. Cool. Richardson realized this concept could be used as a redemptive analogy to explain the Christian doctrine of the incarnation and reconciliation through Christ. He taught that Jesus.
That analogy doesn't work at all, Kent. That's a terrible analogy. But again, it's some stupid story in some random ass book that you like. So just let you continue telling it.
Is the ultimate.
Because this has precisely fuck all to do with time at this stage. Just saying, you've just gone off I don't even know where. And I'm too goddamn tired from having to go through prototypical revolutionary rampages here to be able to follow.
Peace child, given by God to establish eternal peace between humanity and God. So all of a sudden the Holy Spirit's yelling at him, Don, pay attention. Here's the key to unlock this culture. Don, pay attention. Ooh. He gets the next Bible study together. He said, folks, listen, God sent his son down to earth to be the peace child, and Judas betrayed him. Oh, white man. That's the lowest you can get.
Yes, and the Romans killed him. So what you're saying is we need to go with war with Rome. Okay.
It's okay to betray anybody else, but you never betray a peace child. And he used that cultural analogy to win the tribes to the Lord. Then he began realizing, I wonder if other tribes have something like this. He wrote a book, Eternity in Their Hearts. He studied other missionaries and what they've discovered.
And he stole a random picture of Machu Picchu from the guys at what the fuck is that magazine? National Geographic, National Pornographic. He stole it from them, and no one sued because he's some sort of Christian author or something like that.
All over the world, everybody seems to have some kind of key that you can reach them. I got my key to reach the evolutionists.
Well, that tells you everything you need to know about his perspective. I'm just gonna beat you. Real classy there, Kent.
Well,
Don't expect me to have sympathy next time a snake bites you, or when your heart finally gives out.
go. Okay.
Not that you have much of a heart, but something clearly pumps blood through those cold veins of yours.
Child. Anyway, he said there's a time.
And yes, I know it properly pumps through the arteries and is returned through the veins. Just let me have my metaphors.
I know that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and do good in his life.
Yes, and tell me what good you've actually done in your life, Kent. I'm doing more good right now by providing entertainment for current watchers and future watchers through this, and sharing deeper beliefs on social equality, general broad sense of where quote unquote government, what its actual role is in society. The individual nature of people and their pettiness and awareness of that. And just, if I didn't mention already, the all around entertainment value of me ripping into you, I'm doing far more good in that than you do in an entire week. The only good I can say you truly do is the fact that I will give you the idea of if someone comes to DAL and is hungry and is without a place to stay, you will provide that. But honestly, I would expect anyone who has remotely enough resources to be able to do that would do that as well. So, from my ethical standpoint, that's actually not saying much. From a practical standpoint, it is, but it's a Trojan horse. Get people in and then make them dependent on you. And take advantage of them also already probably leaning more towards your elements of theology and try to pull them fully into the cult.
And also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It's a gift of God. In light of making God's making everything beautiful, and in the gift of eternity in their hearts, it's wise to receive the good things in this life and receive them as a gift of God. He said in verse 14.
Yeah, seriously. That'd solve half the problems right there if certain groups, especially Christians and the like, would just leave the rest of the goddamn world alone. Just leave others the fuck alone. If people want to hear about your bullshit, they'll come and ask you. Don't go into other groups' business and try to tell them, hey, you never heard about this before, but here's all this magic bullshit, and if you don't like it, you're evil. At least we're not doing it like they did a couple hundred years ago, where if you didn't accept this stuff instantly, we just straight up fucking killed you.
I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, or nothing taken away from it.
I don't know, man. I mean,
that men should fear before him. That which hath
I was going to say, God doeth shall be forever. I don't know, man. It looks like not a goddamn thing your God did is around forever. I don't see no Adam any damn where. Noah's Ark, God was supposed to have commanded that. I don't see that piece of shit. Of course, you think dumbass Ron Wyatt found it. Just watch the Kinty boy. You like watching random atheists talk shit, so you can do your whack an atheist. How about you whack genetically modified skeptics teardown of Ron Wyatt and the Ark? That's one of the best pieces of media I've seen in a long fucking time.
Is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and God requireth that which is past. Now keep in mind, he said, Solomon, I know that whatsoever God does, it shall be forever. Here the preacher escapes ever so briefly from his under the sun thinking. This whole book, Luke, especially for you, I know you're a new Christian, Song of Solomon, Ecclesiastes, is Solomon writing, but it's his view of the world under the sun. Let's forget about heaven, forget about God. From man's perspective, it looks like when a dog dies and a man dies, it's the same thing. They died. Yeah, but that's not the way it is, but that's the way it looks to man. And that's what this whole book is about, man's perspective of under the sun.
Yeah, but it doesn't cross any lines with me. I am totally cool with it. And every time you happen to bring it up, I have to stress that because I feel like if it interests people, they should definitely look into it as a philosophy. I look at it in almost the same way as the way I interpret a Satanic Temple version of Satanism, in that philosophical construct where one could argue it fits in as a quote unquote religion, but without the crazy supernatural bullshit. Lots of symbolism, lots of practical teaching, but nothing going too far beyond that.
It is not the mere mention of God that brings the escape. It is also the knowledge that God is eternal and that this matters to us. God does it that men should fear before.
Seems the anthropologist ignored Richardson or didn't even know of him. Nice.
For him. God's actions are permanent. It shall be forever. God's actions are.
And yes, Marty. Odin said that he would put it in ice giants. I don't see any ice giants anywhere. Everyone worship Odin, or else. Remember, Odin provides a chance of instant death to those who oppose him. Those who summon him, I should say. Yep, I just worked a Final Fantasy reference in there.
Effective and complete. Nothing can be added to it. God's actions are totally secure. Nothing can be taken from it. All this
Weird. Deity seems pretty insecure.
Leads to the part of man to fear, not a craven terror in the face of the monstrous or unknown, but rather the opposite, reverence and awesome regard for God. There's a healthy fear of God. I had a healthy fear of my dad. We had a wonderful relationship. He taught me millions of things. We had a great family. But
is he the one who taught you how to be an absolute piece of shit?
He was a Marine, World War II sergeant, and he was 6'2", and
you gonna say it? You gonna say it, Kent? You gonna say it? Place your bets now. Is Kent going to say what we know he wants to say?
Got a paddle on the fridge, and he knew how to use it if he needed it. So it's called a healthy fear.
Oh, no, I didn't think he would, honestly, at this case with the way he had gone, but he didn't say only survivor of his platoon. Remember, Kent, as far as all record shows, I have no reason to respect your father. And it's amazing that I would normally never, ever give such low regard to anyone who fought in World War II. That's how much I value them having effectively saved the fucking world. But in your father's case, I'll make an exception. Because the only things we know are that he was a little sick piece of shit who should have, based on everything we know, been taken out by the Japanese like the rest of his platoon. But because he caught some illness, he survived. And you want to milk that as making it seem like he's some kind of hero. Fuck your dad. He should have died with the rest of the actual fucking heroes in his platoon who fought and died trying to save the world from Japanese oppression in the Pacific. Either before, during, or after we had kicked Hitler's ass. And by we, I mean the Allies in general. The quote-unquote free world. So I'm never going to respect that son of a bitch. Fuck your worthless dad. I hope to fuck if there is an afterlife. All of his platoon buddies have kicked his ass nonstop since the fucker croaked in 93. Because they're the real goddamn heroes. They didn't make it. But I'm sure they gave the Japanese on whatever island we were trying to take a damn hard time. Savage, horrible part in human history, but something we grew past, thankfully. And while you might not like Japan at all, I obviously love the culture and love the people, as I do most cultures and people. Barring isolated cases where I find things to still be a little too barbaric from a grander scope of things. But I try to work on that and try to see the good. But that's tangential to the racism that people from that generation naturally have. My great-grandmother hated the Japanese as well. Of course, we're pretty sure she also killed herself when Obama got elected, so, par for the course. Fuck your dad, fuck you too. He was a piece of shit and he raised a piece of shit. And your mom got fucked by a piece of shit and spawned a piece of shit. Multiple pieces of shit, best I can tell, if your siblings are anything like you. Oh, but remember, audience, now I'm the bad guy for saying what I just had to say now. No regards for the message being sent or the analysis on everything. Nope. I talked bad about Hoven's family. I'm a bad person. This man, his daddy died when you were in 3rd grade, Chris. How can you talk about him? Well, I don't know. Give me a reason to respect the fucker.
Okay. God requires an account of what was past. Again, this reflects a brief escape from under the sun thinking. If God judges the heart and deeds of man, then everything has meaning. God will judge our
I'm sorry, I just need some feedback, audience. Have I been a little too much today? I don't know where this is quite coming from, but I think maybe I've just, after getting the amount of sleep I finally retained the energy to be as appalled by the state of everything as I am. And something about Hovind is just making me wish to scream into the digital void about these things. Am I off base, or is this what you tune in for? I don't know. I am seriously asking.
thoughts. He'll judge our words. God will judge our thoughts. That's a scary thought. God will judge our deeds. Everything you've ever said or done or thought about is going to be brought up Judgment Day. Guess what?
Very good point, Nubifier. Having a healthy fear, quote unquote, of something shouldn't apply to father figures, but heavy machinery, where you can die real fast if you don't respect the machine and act carefully.
You can get that whole record erased. How? The blood of Jesus Christ. Whew. Praise God. How many would not want everything?
Nimrod, thanks for continuing the membership with the message. Wow, dude, tell me how you actually feel about cunt. Oh, thanks. I needed the laugh, my friend. And Otaku with, Kinty Boy deserves the venom. Okay, cool.
You've done or said or thought read in front of everybody up in heaven. Put your hand up. Okay. He said, moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there. Well, that's the truth. Places that are like courtrooms that are supposed to give fair judgment, there's wickedness involved.
Oh, here we fucking go. It's not a complete Ken Hovind stream unless he brings up him being thrown in jail for DVD number 5. They broke 100 laws to put me in jail. The judge said my crime was worse than rape, even though it's actually my son that said that as a comparison, trying to defend me. I didn't steal any money, and even if I did, it's a stupid law. It was made for getting bootleggers and drug dealers, not for pastor. Fuck you.
He said, this isn't right. Under the sun, from man's perspective, the judge should be judging fairly, but no.
Hey, Kent, the only son I care about in this context is Kim Il-sung. Il-sung literally meaning of the sun. Eternal president of DPRK? Yeah. I care more about their opinion than I do yours, your God's, or anything else. And that motherfucker's been dead since 1994. And wow, I just successfully got myself banned from the DPRK. Actually, probably not, but as an American, it's technically not possible to travel to the DPRK like I'll ever have that kind of money. And the bigger issue would be the transfer in Beijing, because the CCP is probably on me as well, because I have said not too pleasant things about the current Chinese government as well. So me traveling to places is a bit of a risk issue. But I exude no sarcasm when I say truly that I have more respect for Kim Il sung than I do you, than I do the fairy tale you obsess over, than I do your family, anyone at DAL. Half the people I've met in my life, I have more respect for Kim Il sung for than for you, because people tend to be shitty. Few people prove otherwise, and those are the ones I like my audience here right now. Love you. But fuck you, fuck your healthy place of judgment under the sun. Wickedness there was. The only wickedness, Kent, is you. Actually, no. I take that back. The wickedness is in, as I mentioned before, how biased the system is against tax crimes and shit like what you do, because you were a pastor. You got just your 10 years and, it was fine. But a guy with a dime bag will be doing life. Dime bag, I should say. I think I said dime pag. Well, at least I'm getting a lot of energy out. I'm going to sleep well tonight.
They'll give you 9 years in prison for taking your own money out of your own bank.
See, there we go. There we fucking go. Once again, Hovind, you structured your transactions to be below the $10,000 reporting threshold to help hide the actual assets you had in the bank, because the IRS can't just go probing bank accounts to see how much you have. But when you move massive sums, there are reporting requirements which you were intrinsically working to avoid. Remember, during the week of September 11th, 2001, you did at least 2, if not by memory 3 transactions of 9,500 or 9.6 thousand. Well, you had your wife do them, but it was your account, including on the very day. But tell me again how you didn't break any laws. Tell me again in detail, Kent. I need you to go through every.
Yeah, there's unfair judgment all over the world. The courts are not always fair.
Yeah, unfair judgment where perfectly decent fathers will be divorced by their wives, and the children are given to the mother, who is known to be incompetent, known to be problematic, and the father gets fucked over by paying child support and the like for a system that shouldn't have given the children to the mother to begin with. It does happen. I'm not saying that's every case, and I'm not saying the other end is every case. I'm saying things tend to be a little biased in a lot of ways. You got off easy, Kent. Quit fucking bitching about it, you whiny ass baby. Why don't you dig up your mom's grave and go sucking on her soggy ass corpse tits again? You overgrown fucking baby, need a bottle?
Not always just. And he said, I saw the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. Places that ought to, like churches and stuff, that ought to see righteousness. How many saw that thing on the expose of that? Who's that lady preacher that would made millions and millions of dollars that she got exposed here recently? Joyce Meyer. Yeah. It ought to be a place of righteousness. No, he said.
Oh, she had millions and millions of dollars, and all these others had millions and millions of dollars, but Hovind doesn't have millions and millions of dollars. I mean, had, several 100,000 in operating flow easily in this ministry with the current tax stuff that we can actually look at. And who knows how much Kenty Boy keeps for himself, but, it's not on the books at all. He keeps it in a mattress under his mattress, yeah.
There's wickedness there. I said in my heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there's a time there for every purpose and for every work. I said in my
Otaku, wish you could have got a picture of that. Cats are funny like that, and I love the little expressions they make.
My heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. Again, Solomon, smartest guy.
Yep, slavery isn't sin, but everything else sure as fuck is.
Writing about his view of the world, if there is no heaven. I saw God's going to make it manifest. They're nothing but beasts.
Maria, thanks for that out-of-date blog post by Chad Hovind, Kent's nephew, stating why he doesn't have a relationship with Kent. Fascinating.
Manifest found in the Bible 39 times here. Okay. For that which befalleth the sons of men, by the way, manifest only found once in the Old Testament, right here in Ecclesiastes 3. All the rest in the New Testament. Study that for yourself. For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts. One thing, even one thing that befalleth them, as the one dieth, so dieth the other. He said, the man dies, the animals die. There's no difference. Well, that's true under the sun. It's not true from eternal perspective. But as far as man goes, man, when a dog dies or a cow dies or a man dies, you stick him in the ground. Yea, they have all one breath, so that a man hath no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. All go to one place. All are of dust, and all turn to dust again. Now, is that true? Well, it's true from man's perspective. From man's perspective, under the sun, there's no difference between men and animals when they die. That's what he's saying here. Jehovah's Witnesses take a lot of verses out of Ecclesiastes to make their crazy doctrine. They believe some of the dumbest things that are.
Meanwhile, independent fundamental Baptists take a lot of crazy shit from all over the Bible to form their doctrine. Yes.
Totally unscriptural. Jehovah's Witness.
According to you.
They take a lot of verses. Ecclesiastes occurs the rest of the Bible to the state of the dead. They use the Ecclesiastes verses to prove that there's no hell. They say, see, when you die, you go to the grave. That's it. What do Jehovah's Witnesses believe? The earth endures forever. After the destruction of the wicked, the earth will be made into paradise. So they think when you die wicked, you just simply you're gone. You don't go.
Marty with a $2 super chat. Get some snacks for your cats. I will.
Go to hell. Their theme verse is in our songbook. Have you read some of that song? No hell, no hell, no hell, no hell. Jehovah's Witness names. I'm sorry, never mind. Okay. Jehovah's Witness interpret Ecclesiastes 9.
No, Nevermind was Nirvana's September 1991 smash breakthrough into the broader public. Incredible album. Although all three of the core albums are amazing. Personally, a massive fan of In Utero. Incesticide is an interesting look at a lot of their other material that wasn't in Bleach, but of course didn't fare as well with the general public. But then if you go deep enough into the really underground things with Nirvana, like the song Sappy, incredible work. Absolutely amazing track in all its forms. Yeah. What were we talking about again? Oh, right. Something not as badass as Nirvana. But sorry, he brought up Nevermind, so I just had to go that route. I'll probably listen to that after the stream.
The dead know nothing, to support their doctrine that the death is a state of unconscious sleep with no awareness of continued existence of the soul or spirit after death. They use this verse to argue against the existence of the afterlife. Okay? Asserting that the spirit returns to God. That's why when they come to your house, knock on your door, you'd like to have a Bible study with us. Many people ignorantly say, sure, come on in. And they show them these verses. Wow, the Bible says. Wow, the Bible says. They're reading from Ecclesiastes.
Wow, people just tune into random religious stuff on YouTube, or they'll get sent these DVDs from this guy Kent Hovind, and they'll just watch this guy talk so seriously. Wow, dinosaurs live with people. Wow, there was an ice canopy. Wow, Hovind was wrongly in jail. I should pity this guy.
This is Solomon talking, okay? I'll get to that in a second. This interpretation is central to their belief that the dead.
I don't give a fuck about Solomon. What's Solomon going to do against my 9 over there? Come on, fuck that guy. Send me back in time. I'll take the fucker out.
Are not conscious in an immediate state. And there is no eternal torment, no hell. Remember, Solomon warned us at the beginning of the book, chapter 1, that this whole book is his view of the world from man's perspective. Back in chapter 1, be careful about getting some Bible doctrine from the book of Ecclesiastes. Solomon is showing how life looks from man's perspective, not from God's perspective. Every word of God is pure. Add thou not to his words. Don't add to what God said. The words of the Lord
that's a tick that seriously fucking bothers me. Okay.
Are pure. Thou shalt keep them. So it's true that Solomon said that. What he said was not true. So the Bible accurately records some people lying. Now, I said it in the Bible, I know, but who's talking? Okay,
Oh, so you're saying the Bible accurately records some people lying? Well, how do you tell when people are telling the truth and when they're lying, Kent? Doesn't that mean that in theory the whole damn book could be a lie? Huh? I'm sure you got some apologetic to try to say that it's not, but you just opened yet another little can of worms.
message, okay? God accurately recorded Solomon's view of the world under the sun. So it's true. The serpent said to the woman, "Ye shall not surely die. For God knows in the day you eat thereof, you shall be like God." Whoa, you get to be God. Wow. Now,
Yeah, you'll be as gods, as in knowledge, educated. Um, Also, did Adam and Eve die then? You're going to say spiritual death, but it's like, no, your deity was talking about actual death. It wasn't, separated or distinguished in something special. It was just straight up death. So, yeah. Last I checked, the snake was actually right during all that. It was honest. And indeed, the Satan character seems to pretty much exclusively tell the truth and has a far lesser kill count than your god.
it's 100% true that the devil said that. But what he said was not true.
Snake was not quote unquote the devil, quote unquote Lucifer, quote unquote Satan, any of that adversarial prime nemesis concept. That's the extra biblical, so that idea that you add in there that so many of you, mainly seems to be a lot of a Protestant thing, want to throw in there.
So be careful about getting Bible doctrine from Ecclesiastes. I just want to caution you. Okay? The Bible says we're supposed to study to show ourselves approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. With any document, who's talking? Who are they talking to? And does this apply to me? It's that way with any document, okay? God came down on Mount Sinai in Nehemiah chapter 9, and he made known unto them the holy Sabbath by the hand of Moses. There are people all over argue about this. They claim they keep the Sabbath. I've never met anybody who keeps the Sabbath.
Oh my fuck! Here he fucking goes. Hey Kent, something I was educated on earlier is that with the various Jewish laws, forget the exact details, the exact nomenclature of the particular ones in question, but the stuff you're really supposed to hold on to, things like not eating pork. But if the only thing you have to eat is motherfucking pork, and you need to eat, you're fucking hungry. It's been a few days. You might not get another meal for a while. You don't know for sure. You're gonna eat it because your life takes precedence. Ergo, one can argue in keeping the Sabbath from the way you do, the overexerted interpretation thereof, that these necessities, these activities, the things you'll protest against, like, you can't use electricity, you can't leave a light on because that's making someone out at the power plant work. You still, it may not be as critical of a thing, but there can be an argument made for it being a necessity, to a point where it seems to be something that the individual person, and again, I'm talking strictly from a Jewish cultural point of view, but like Hasidic Jews and but this extends into Christian concepts since Christianity is just a Judaism expansion pack, a very shitty one, I might add. That as long as one tries to adhere to as much of the restriction as they reasonably can, I think you're actually okay. So you don't have a point here whatsoever.
Because you can't go out of your house, you can't kindle a fire. Anyway, we did video 7. But so God made known the Sabbath on Mount Sinai. 25.
Isn't it amazing that just through casual ideas being seeded here and there, that you or I can quickly become better acquainted and better philosophers on certain religious concepts than a man who spent his whole life on this stuff. But he spent his whole life refining his own predefined beliefs, whereas we seek truth, understanding, even in things we obviously reject otherwise, understanding them in context, and try to find broader philosophical standpoints. It's beautiful, really.
500 years after the creation, God he spake to them. He gave them the right judgments. He gave them the holy Sabbath and commanded them. This is talking to the Jews. So who's talking and who's it talking to? God spake to Moses, saying, the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbaths. And
fine example, Mapleson. You couldn't go to the bathroom on the Sabbath because the toilet would be too far not to count as work walking there. Yep. And also, are you just supposed to leave it sitting in there, or or should you do the customary flushing? Because you're just gonna leave the mess sitting there. That's not safe. That's not sanitary. That's unpleasant. It's fucking rude. So there you go. An argument could be made that making sure to flush for sanitary concerns, you have to perform that work on top of the work of already relieving oneself. Where's the problem? It's a funny thing in that if you kind of study some details in tangential stuff with Judaism, based on presuming this information being presented to me is remotely correct, but citations in there seem to look valid, that it seems to be at least a valid interpretation that, ironically, the fuller Hebrew context beyond what is in the Christian Bible seems to be looser than a lot of people think. And I'm kind of impressed with that.
Is between a sign between me and
Hence a reason while some customs are a little what the fuck, my opinion on Judaism is actually relatively soft compared to Christianity.
you. Okay? Does that apply to Kent Hovind, a Norwegian Baptist? No. Okay? The children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath. It's a sign between me and you. So anytime you read any verse, who's it talking? Who's speaking?
Yeah, Maria, that's something I'm wondering too, is that it seems very grounded. And I find that, I am finding that rather refreshing.
And who are they talking to? And who does this apply to? It's just common sense to rightly divide the word of truth. God said in Ezekiel, Son of man, speak to the elders of Israel.
Only Ezekiel I care about was supposedly the son of Master Shake, and it turned out he was far older than Shake. And he was slaying the chest dragon, and that's the last I saw of him. Jesus, Ezekiel, Jesus. That's from the Bible. Or Zeke.
I gave them my Sabbaths. It's a sign between me and them. Hallow my Sabbaths, it shall be a sign between me and you. So my take on it is that we're supposed to read on the first day of the week, Sunday, to commemorate the resurrection. It has nothing to do with the Sabbath. I think you ought to take a day off once in a
Days
while.
of the week are arbitrary. First day, second day, it's whatever. Beginning of my week is Monday. I consider Monday the beginning of the week because that's when I start my work week. And then the end of the week, it's not the ends of the week, it's the weekend is Saturday and Sunday. Like it is for everybody, but Sunday ends my week because that's the way I run my personal calendar.
I'll be every week.
And when I worked at Walmart and my schedule shifted because payday is Thursday and the system week starts on Friday, guess what? My week started on Friday.
Wish I could. My jaw would quit hurting from talking so much. Okay.
Time is an illusion, old man.
For 2 Peter, we have a more sure word of prophecy. Knowing this first, no prophecy of the scriptures of any private interpretation. Don't take one verse here and one verse there and put them together and you can make the Bible say quite a few crazy things. Okay. Who knows?
Yeah. Like dinosaurs lived with people and there was an ice canopy.
The spirit of man, Solomon said in Ecclesiastes, that goeth upward, and the spirit of beast that goeth downward to the earth. Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what shall come after him? This is the end of chapter 3 here. Solomon said, hey, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I can see, we all die, we go to the grave. So do something for God, okay? Serve the Lord. Rejoice in your works. All you get is this little dash between two dates. 56 years ago, I said, Lord, I don't have much. I'm 16. I'll give you my dash, though. You can have it.
I seriously feel horrible for the Sarah S., whoever they were, and him having for decades now exploited this one picture. Also, I ain't using that dash for no goddamn deity that is not just not demonstrated to exist, but sure as hell has been shown not to exist, especially if people like you represent the deity. No thanks. I've got too much cool shit to do.
I don't know what the last number. You know what the last number is going to be on your tombstone? Me neither. Hope it's a really, really big one.
Let's see. Knowing the way your health is going, Kent, there's a possibility, but I kind of doubt it's going to be anything in the 2030 or 2040 range. I have strong suspicion you'll kick the bucket sooner than later, and that's sad in a human level. But I think your downfall is honestly going to be fantastically quick. You're just, over a period of a couple of months, just going to go downhill, and that's going to be it. I'll feel a little bad, again, on a human level. But in the end, that'll be another horrible person who has had their time on Earth and has gone on to a better place. 6 feet underground. I'll come visit your graves sometime. Maybe. Pay respects my particular way.
My dad, 1920 to
Fuck your dad.
93. He poured his life into raising his kids.
And he did a real shitty job of it.
Trying to get us to learn everything. His goal was...
And you don't know a goddamn thing.
He said, boys, I don't care what you do for a living. When you leave my house, you're going to know how to do everything. I mean, not everything, but boy, he taught us a bunch of stuff. Great dad. He poured his life into his kids. Parents, your turn's coming. Mine too. Are you ready?
Note that he shows a photo from Arlington National Cemetery or something similar with all those beautiful veteran headstones. Hey, Kent, I want to remind you something. A lot of those you see in that picture, those people were Antifa. Yeah, they were anti-fascist. Hey, guess what? Your dad? I'll let you in on a secret, Kent. Are you ready? Your dad was Antifa.
Could be today. Have you seen the way they drive in Alabama? Now listen, you folks are thinking about moving up here. I don't know if you understand this or not. They don't have IQ tests in Alabama to get a driver's license. Have you noticed that, Joseph?
Yeah, I didn't either. And when I say on a human level, I mean that little bit of me that has true universal empathy will fire off an, oh, that is a sad moment thing from a human level of one being to another. But that's about as far as it's going to fire.
Yes, sir. Okay. They just give them to anybody. Oh, okay. Where are you going to go when you die?
To be and neither confirm nor deny.
If it's heaven, then what rewards are you building up? See, if you're going to heaven, God promised eternal life. He won't take that away.
Jack Chick passing was kind of funny, only on the grounds of I think it was like the same day that Hannah and Jake had done a Chick track. And then their next one, like, it was right after they did one, and they talked about him still going, and then he died. So the one following that, they were like, well, he died. Hey, Dave. So you'll want to go back. I go into like 12 different rants during this one. You'll want to check it out, buddy. Because we're almost at the end of this Wackerhofen.
Going to be a judgment on the chart behind me here. There's right here. There's the judgment seat of Christ for the Christians. Then there's the great white throne judgment for the lost. There's 2 judgments coming, and he's going to be perfectly fair. He's going to give you what you deserve. What are you doing? The Bible says he that winneth souls is wise. Man, I remember I led my first soul to the Lord about 5-6 months after I got saved. I said,
that guy in the back alley really enjoyed it. He said, oh, God, a lot.
This the rest of my life.
Yeah, I'm sure you do want to win people to the Lord in that particular way, Kent.
Tell people about the Lord. Like the story.
Tell them about Lord Yamato.
Civil War. The trenches were dug, and that guys were marching back and forth, you know. The Yankees are over there marching back and forth, and this big old Confederate country boy, he's marching through the trench, and he's getting madder by the minute. I didn't come to march in the mud. I want to go get me a Yankee. Hey, Sarge, can I run over there and get me a Yankee? No, son, no, son. Just keep marching in the trench. We didn't get orders yet. Son, Sarge, I didn't come here to march in the mud. Finally, he couldn't take it anymore. He dropped his rifle, dropped his backpack, jumped up out.
Walks up to God. Notice me, senpai. Notice me. And God's like, get the fuck out of my face.
And ran across no man's land toward the Yankee trench. Everybody was stunned. One big old country boy yelling the rebel charge. Everybody he jumped into the Yankee trench, picked up the first Yankee.
Thank you, Otaku. Yes, that's how it was. It was great. Oh, between that, and of course, good old drunken peasants. Man, I miss those days.
Saw, bam, knocked him out cold. Picked him up, carried him, ran back to the rebel trench. All his buddies gathered around and said, "What is that?" He said, "That's a Yankee." "Where'd you get him?" "I got him over yonder. There's a whole bunch more over there. Y'all could have had one if you'd have wanted one."
That story is fucking stupid, and that artist you had do all these pictures for you back in the far off space year of 1992 fucking sucks.
Some of you are more concerned about who plays with a stupid ball than your neighbor going to hell.
Hey, yeah, mind your own business. Hey, you know, that used to be on our currency, apparently. I don't know how true that is, but I've seen it floating around the interweb, so I'm going to share it here regardless without fact checking. But, apparently, yeah, mind your business was on something back in the day, and I think that's hilarious if true. Anyone want to check that for me? I would, but I'm lazy.
Admit it, okay? You're more concerned about some of the dumbest things than eternity for your friends, neighbors, people you could be getting the gospel out. I'm eating up with it, brother.
Okay, I said I'm lazy, then I did a quick look up, and apparently, yeah, it used to be on U.S. Currency.
I am eaten up. I want to get the gospel to everybody. 7 million views on just on one channel. I'd like.
No, Kent. No, and that's not a channel. That's your Facebook account. And when it's flooded with little YouTube shorts that Christian fucktards toss around over and over and over, like, ooh, look at this, like Josh Fierstein shit. That's really not as impressive as you think. 7 million views on shorts is fuck all.
700 million. I want to reach the whole world. Is there something burning inside of you? I wish there was. What on earth are you doing? For heaven's sake.
Oh, this is where I came in when I checked if the fucker was still streaming after I thought he should have cut off. I remember this stupid ass picture. God's a cloud, people floating in space, and then a picture of the Earth conveniently centered right over Europe. Everyone say hi to the former Soviet Union. Tell it you miss it, because I do. Seriously, the Cold War kept the world more stable than it's ever been in a weird twist. Again, something I want to get into down the line. Let us not understate how much I focus on the Cold War and 20th century history in general as sort of my thing. And there's still so much I don't freaking know. But a lot of deep thinking about stuff happens, so yeah.
I'd challenge you today. Get alone, shut everything off, throw the stupid phone in the trash, and say, "Lord, what can I do for your kingdom?" Can't you find something to do?
I mean, I ask myself all the time what I can do for my kingdom, although I tend to just call it my little slice of the digital sphere. And in this case, I decided today I would cover this stream of yours. Oh, wrong lord. Sorry, I only respect my own lordship as a honorific title given to myself for myself, which only applies inside of my digital sphere as a bit of a joke because it pisses people off because they think I'm being serious about it.
There's a war going on, okay? If you're not going to shoot,
No, there's not.
carry bullets, take care of the wounded, pay for the bullets, find something to do. I mean, if you're driving by and you see a house on fire and the kids are inside screaming and yelling, "Help, help," and you stop your.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of yesterday's stream, Armored Skeptic got brought up, and it's like, yeah, that dude went totally fucking crazy. And Shoe on Head went her own insane route. And Jacqueline Glenn, I think she popped up in that Atheist Super Friends video, our video set that like a bunch of creators had done that I'm not even bothering to look at. Even though I like half the people in there, I'm just like, I'm not getting involved in all this. Especially after the atheist quote unquote community has shown its true colors in a lot of aspect, or the particular subset I was involved in. But yeah, some of these people, they've just gone really crazy. And, you know, again, it's funny you mentioned went too far right or left when I'm pretty fucking far left, but obviously in a range that you can still handle. Because some people, they went all over the fucking place.
Car, wow, somebody ought to do something. You have to have somebody come by. Excuse me. Would you go?
And yes, that story is very much more like a bad joke.
Would you go drag a kid out of the house and get the hose? And oh, okay. Let's pray. Father, I pray that you'll light a fire under somebody to get busy and do
Oh, the fake tears.
something for your kingdom.
Snort.
Thank you for your amazing Bible, Lord, you left for us to read. I can't imagine people growing up without one. Help us to learn from this simple little chapter. There's a time for everything. Lord, help us to use our time for your glory now. Help us to win souls worldwide. Bless our little ministry, Father. Lord, I prayed 1,000 times. Would you bring in people that you want to be here? Take out the ones you don't want. Lord, you see the hearts. I don't want any Achans here. I don't want any Judases here. I pray that you'll just do it, Lord. Just do it. Lord, help us to reach the world with the gospel. Guide us. Show us what's important to you.
Maria, yeah, we're gonna have to find a time and a way to have some really good conversations on that, since you were actually there. Especially Germany. Trust me, I talk about the Soviet Union and have a caring approach to it, the ideals of it, not the actual nation as it was. The same thing happens when it comes to Germany. Now, be completely fair, I wanted Germany. Well, I think in retrospect, I obviously am for Germany being united. And to me, World War II didn't technically end until the reunification of Germany. Because I have an interesting way of defining the span of an actual conflict, partly involved in explicitly defined by the war ramifications post-combat, if that makes sense. So the division of Germany being established during the Yalta Conference and the like means that up until 1990, processes enacted during World War II were explicitly, actively pursued up till the reunification. But again, ideology and such and symbolism, you feel a certain odd reverse nostalgia for. Oh, sorry. So you're supposed to cheat on your taxes, abuse women, and run a cult to get into heaven? Bingo! That's how it works. Everyone should ask themselves, what can I do for Lord Yamato? I don't know. Watch videos, toss a few shekels over if you can. I don't ask much. Just support me doing the kinds of stuff I do. Jacqueline Glynn in that video, and completely forgotten she existed until that video. Yeah. I mean, she's had a fucking kid and stuff since then, got married, all kinds of stuff. She just, I don't know. I don't know.
In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow night, Ecclesiastes.
Yes, a lot of fire under can't burn the witch. Bader Meinhof.
Chapter 4. All right. Thank you.
Go to hell, Kent. Oh, wait, you're already there. It's called Lenox, Alabama. All right, so that's the end of that. Man, where are all these fucking Hovendites coming from? Y'all are fucking idiots. James right out. No, he's not right at all. Gill slits are an evidentiary piece. Pharyngeal arches is what you're talking about, and it is well explained by literally anyone Kent has talked to about it, what they actually are, what it actually means, as with all of these particular traits that are indicative of this stuff. If you want to argue about it, send me an email and plan something, and we'll have a nice long discussion. Man, where the fuck are these idiots come from? Look at this shit. You got this fucking dumbass troll in here. Fuck this guy. Oh, fuck you. You're a fucking idiot. Your own damn self. Oh, love it. The Hovendites just keep on coming. Y'all are special. Y'all are serious short bus. Oh wait, sorry. Hang on. Let me use the phrase Hovind likes to do for all you Hovendites. You keyboard warriors. Can't make your own account, can't actually discuss anything, don't even have your own fucking opinions, just go with whatever Lord Hovind says, the pedophile enabling, tax evading piece of shit that you all fucking worship. Y'all are fucking hilarious. But keep on giving me views, keep on giving me interaction. I just fucking love it. Fucking morons. Damn, no mods in the chat today. Yeah. Yeah, apparently no one at the moment. Remember, we lost a few people because they decided to be assholes and ally themselves with a grifting fuckwit who thinks that not paying bills is a way to save up money while they don't have any kind of employment themselves. And that it's okay for them to grift for a place to stay, for other people to pay for that privilege. Because, that's how this shit works. And as I said, other people decide rather than to discuss with somebody any potential grievances they might have or get another person's perspective, they just decide they're gonna, walk on off and go suck their dick, which is perfectly fucking fine. Let them fucking have it. But I'm gonna call that shit out because it's the exact kind of idiocy I would not expect from people who are supposed to be, reasonable critical thinkers on stuff. But obviously I expected too much. Then again, I should have known something was up with the first party when they still think 9/11 conspiracies are valid and would want to argue the issue with me out of the blue. But I digress. Can't. Not Christ, exactly. And Otaku, it's just Hovendites coming in being dumbass trolls. But hey, this is your Christian love right here. This kind of shit. You're an idiot. Yep, I'm totally the idiot. What else did they say? This bum to get an 8 to 5 job. Hey, James, buddy. I mean, you've been kicked from the fucking channel, so it is what it is. But I work my ass off. Guess what? It's fucking Sunday, bitch. If you knew anything, you understand. If you come and criticize somebody, you understand that I do have a weekly job. That's why, if you notice, I'm never really streaming or anything from around 5 a.m. all the way till about 4. Usually it'll be the first opportunity you'll have to see me pop online on a weekday, because the rest of the time, guess what? I'm working. Unlike your buddy boy Hovend. And yeah, someone brought up that the moron was like, Earth is flat. Yeah, Hovend's not a flat earther either, so you want to suck his dick, but then act like, something. And then there we go. I'm a liberal retard. Yep. Oh, there's more Christian love. You fucking love to see it. Ah, buddy, I make liberals look like fascists. All right. But it's funny because in my personal ethos on the way government should be holding their efforts should work for society, even you, with your pure hatred and idiocy, would benefit from healthcare, from housing, from support when and where you need it. But, again, I'm the bad guy. Doing idiots like this perfectly encapsulating everything that I'm against. Because they are so fucking smart. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. They're absolute fucking idiots. But, you know. Yeah, I'll definitely consider it. I need to go through and double check and see who definitely needs a promotion. I gotta make notes on that. No, and I didn't know any common viewers, chatters sided with the guy who screwed you. Oh, Otaku. Yeah, a couple. I'm not naming names, but a couple of people prominent enough didn't bother at all to address anything with me, and instead just went on to ride his ass. So whatever, they can fucking have it. Needless to say, I will not be involved in the ARC protest next year or any future events that occur with it. Amongst some other things. Also, I am going to go through and probably begin privating, switching to member only, or otherwise outright removing some old video content, because yeah, this stuff is just yeah. And yeah, Kent's not clever enough to monetize Flat Earth. If he was, he would. Yeah, if he was smart, he'd play into the Flat Earth thing, but at least he holds to his principles. His principles are dog shit, but he holds to them. Anyway, I've got the rest of my Sunday to enjoy. This stream has been almost 2 hours. These streams have been way too long recently, but I guess we're just getting some some overdue stress relief. Anyway, thanks for watching. Glad you're all here. Have a great day, great week, whatever. Streams may cut back a bit again because Guild Wars 2 expansion launches on Tuesday, so I'll be rocking with that. But yeah. And yeah, water under the bridge in the grand scheme. It's just, I try not to hold on to baggage, but I don't just forget things. And that has its own dangers, but it's to ensure that I don't get fucked over by people again, that I'm not betrayed by people again. So yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you just trust the wrong people. You try to help the wrong people. But is what it is. Anyway, I'll catch everyone next time.